In 1963, Chevrolet introduced the second generation of the Corvette, and it was nothing short of a visual bombshell. The Corvette Stingray had arrived. The muscle car phenomenon was about to make horsepower the standard of currency in Motown. Ford had stepped up with its total performance blitz, and Chrysler's big block wedges and Hemis were pointing what direction Mopar was now heading. But General Motors had an ace up its sleeve, and in 1965, they unleashed their 396 cubic inch high compression code L78 big block V8, armed with 425 horsepower, having been born and nurtured within GM's secret racing skunk works. It was with that big block bullet that the Chevrolet Corvette took the high ground in American sports car performance and ushered in a new era of cubic inch dynamite for the sensational Stingray. And that brings us to today. There are but a handful of original, unmodified, and unrestored 396-powered 1965 Corvettes in existence. And the Rick Barrett Preservation Collection includes no fewer than 3, each coupe with its own provocative nickname: the Nassau Blue Engineer, the Rally Red Stewart, the Silver Pearl Stud. Mecum Auctions has the privilege of consigning this exceptionally rare trio of 396 Corvettes heading to Indianapolis in May. These are the Exemplars, the 396 trio, and this is their story. Well, the man I'm going to introduce you to right now is an old friend, and he may be one of the foremost authorities on 396 Corvettes in the entire country. In fact, he's an NCRS and Bloomington Gold judge and actually co-wrote the manual for the 396 Corvette that the NCRS uses when judging these cars. It's Rick Barrett.
Bill, how are you? Good to see you.
First up, I got to ask you about the nicknames for these cars. That's kind of unusual. How did that happen?
Well, these cars represent a cross-section of the 396 through the year. An early car, a mid-year, and a late production car. And ultimately, the foundation and the origins of where these cars came from and how they came through the years translated to a name.
Okay, I love that. Now, before we get into these cars individually, let's get this out of the way up front. 3 of probably the most original 1965 396 Corvettes in the world. Is that not true?
That is true, I believe so. 3 of the most original, preserved 396s in existence.
We're going to talk about each car individually, and let's begin with the Engineer, this Nassau Blue Coupe.
Yep.
Why the Engineer?
Yeah, this car is a very special car. It's an early production 396. Came out of Nicky Chevrolet, in fact. The Engineer really was a manifestation of some engineering provenance that this car has. It has some unique characteristics and some components on it that symbolize early production and also give a nod to some of the engineering prototyping that was done. Specifically, the ignition shielding is hand cut. It's got a small keyhole, is very rare, very rarely seen, and the hand cut was a GM engineering detail when they were developing the ignition shielding. The other piece, which is very interesting, is 001. It's got a 001 digit stamped on the intake manifold. That was a digit that GM engineering stamped on any component that was under development.
Take us a little deeper into the engineering components in this that set it apart.
Yeah, one really special characteristic of this car, be it that it's an early 396, is the 961 casting block. That's a verified alternative to the 962. 396s were 962s typically in production. So those 3 components specifically give a nod back to the very early stages of 396 development.
And some of the things incorporated into this car trickle down into all of the big block C2 Corvettes for years.
This was really the beginning of the big block era. This is where it all started. This being an early car really is a symbol of where the big block era began and how it manifested itself through the years. The other piece that's also unique to this car is obviously its original paint, 69,000 miles later, and how it was equipped. It was very lightly equipped. It was really equipped to go fast. A single radio. Even the glass is crystal clear standard glass. It wasn't the tinted glass as most people optioned. In addition to the options that I mentioned, 3 full binders documenting the history of this car from Nicky Chevrolet, day one orders, deposit slips, even the order of how it was equipped. This car is equipped with some very rare Blackwall tires, original tires, as all 3 do, General Jet Airs, which you rarely see in the marketplace, and certainly not after 60 years of existence. So this car was very lightly optioned from Nicky Chevrolet and makes it a unique piece.
Well, all right, that's the engineer. Now it's over to the Rally Red Steward. True, the drivetrains are identical in all 3 cars, but something stands apart on this car than the other 2.
Yeah, remarkably, the drivetrains are factory original. They all 3 have 411 rears, which is pretty unique. But what's also really unique, while each car is unique in itself, the options on this car were unique. This was a Teak Telly Gold Line car.
The Teak Telly Gold Stripes, the Teak steering wheel, first year for that.
Right.
Telescopic steering column, first year for that.
That's right.
And the gold stripe tires as well. It's a great combination.
Right. A great combination. Also, what's really great about this car, and all 3 have this, is the fingerprints of evidence that it's an original, legitimate, authentic 396. The dum-dum dabs that filled the voltage regulator in the inner fenders. The inner fenders, the overspray, the paint on this car is all original, as the other 2 are as well. The hood shields, the blackout procedures, this car even has its original exhaust. What's remarkable about this car is not just its originality, but it's been recognized for its originality too. It was inducted into the Bloomington Gold Collection, as well as a 4-category Gold Survivor. This car, obviously, limited production. Coupes were the least amount made in 396s. Approximately only 750 coupes were made in 396 configuration.
One more to look at, and that's called the stud. We have 3 extremely rare 1965 396 Corvettes that redefine the term factory original, early production to mid-production, and this, the late production car, and its nickname, the stud. How did that come about?
Well, the stud derived from its reputation. The stud nickname originated from a phone call that I was on when I was looking to acquire this car. Actually, one of the gentlemen that was on the call, when I referred to this car and what do they know about it, his first response was, well, that car's a stud. So I immediately took to the name and inquired about more detail. And ultimately the name stuck, and that's how we affectionately refer to the car today. This car specifically has some really unique pieces, from inspections and markings on the steering box to shim markings on the frame, and still the blackout on the sway bars. It's got its original exhaust like the other 2, so you see indications of factory evidence blackout on that as well. This is a California car originally. The deterioration on this car is minimal at best, so it's a really remarkable piece, built to perform, preserved to inform. All 3, and this one especially, is a factory reference benchmark. We use these cars to write the manuals and to inform us as to what the factory did in 1965. This car was honored at the Muscle Car and Corvette Nationals. And also the car is very proud of getting the John Craman Award. We know John Craman and his fascination with Corvettes and Unrestored. This car was recognized, presented by Scott Hoke, as an example of passion and unrestored preservation.
What's it going to be like when these cars are sold?
It will be difficult. It's been a difficult journey so far, and that certainly is not going to be any easier. It's time for the next steward to cherish these cars the way I have. I'm hoping that the next owner will cherish them the way I have and hold them as dear as I have.
Wow, I am still trying to wrap my head around these 3 Corvettes. So important. These were the cars that started the big block era in the Chevrolet Corvette, going all the way up to the 1967 L88. And they're all coming to Dana Mecum's 39th Original Spring Classic, Indianapolis, May 8th through the 16th at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. If you can't be there in person, you can watch us streaming live on ESPN+, and we hope to see you then.